We're going to take a look at NVIDIA here on the weekly chart. You can see we're trading at that 190 handle, currently up around 2.5%, almost $4.50 from last week's close. Now, where does that kind of put us here on this overall weekly chart? Well, you can see we're still in this channel, basically 183 to about 195. We've been in here for quite some time, deviated just a little bit here and there. But for the most part, basically ever since the beginning of December, we've been stuck in this channel. So we have to see how long it's going to take us in here to get out of it, right? So we're going to be forward looking in here to that 195 resistance. That's the big number in here. We can tighten that up to right around that high that we had in here today, right up that 191, 192 area. But really 195 is going to be that major resistance for us. If we can get out of there, then we're forward looking to 200 and then this 212 level up here. To the downside, we're looking at 183. We can tighten that back up as well to right around that 187 level. But anything outside of 183, we're going to be looking down here right around that 174. And then we have this 50-day SMA currently trading right here, sitting at 161. That's going to be a level that we're going to have to revisit at some point. But this is obviously a moving average, so it's going to be coming with us. So the longer we stay up here, the closer this thing is going to get to the overall stock price. Our RSI is sitting right here at 57, so a little bit of a pop in here today. Brought this thing just a tad bit higher on the weekly. Obviously, the RSI on the daily shot up pretty tremendously with that big, almost $4.50 move that we had in here today. Now, by Wednesday's expiration, you have a $4 expected move, Friday, $6 expected move, go all the way out to your February monthly. It looks like everybody's pricing in almost a $10 expected move. So we're going to see as the IV starts to kind of contract a little bit in here because we had such a move higher in here to the upside. Your IV basically kind of stayed the same. It only contracted a little bit. If it was kind of like a long grind higher, then obviously your IV would contract very quickly. But since this thing shot up and kind of stayed elevated, the IV stayed with it. So that's what we're looking at here overall in NVIDIA. If we're going to go to its brother here, we're going to look at AMD on our weekly chart as well. We're going to see what we're trading in here on the day. We basically also had a pretty green day in here as well, up around $8 almost, about 738 on the day. We're still trading out of this overall structure. So that was going to be a question since when we broke down in here coming off that earnings last week, what was going to happen this week going forward? Well, it looks like the 200s did hold. But we're still not climbed back into this structure yet at all. So that is going to be our first mission in here this week above 219. That's what we're looking at in here. We want to get a nice breach and hold of 219, and then we can worry about our overall structure again. Until then, it looks like it's basically going to be a channel between the 220s and then the $200 level. Now, if we can get above that 219, we're going to be forward looking in here to that 222, which is our 9-day EMA. And then anything above there, it's going to be that 227 for our next immediate resistances. But again, first up, we are going to be looking at that 219. IV ranking here is still relatively high, even though we did have a contraction last week with that overall earnings catalyst that we had. It looks like IV rank is sitting at 34, but you have a $10 expected move by this Friday, next Friday, 15. You go all the way up to March, $27 expected move being priced in here through your options traders in AMD. So we're going to see how we continue throughout the rest of the week in here. But overall, the numbers that we are going to be looking for on AMD is going to be 200, 219, 222, and 227. We're going to see how this correlates with the overall market, how NVIDIA and AMD are going to correlate with one another yet again, since we got all that earnings stuff out of the way. Let's see if they're going to start trading with a pair again, or are we going to still have that a little bit of an inverse correlation overall with each other. So let's watch the divergences. Let's watch our correlation with each other, with the overall markets, and then play this accordingly. Okay, guys, if you like this video, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We also have a Discord service if you're interested, and you can find all of our socials in the description below.